Stop sleeping.
Most people never actually live. They just exist.
Let me tell you about Frank. Frank is 100 years old. He sits quietly in a small room. No luxury, no fancy furniture, just a bed, a chair, and a picture of his wife. He looks straight into the camera and says something simple. Most people never actually live. They just exist. Frank explains that we all lie to ourselves. We say things like, I'll start living after exams. I'll enjoy life after I get a job. I'll be happy after I make money. We think we have endless time, but Frank says that's the biggest illusion. Death is guaranteed. Tomorrow is not. Yet people treat their days cheaply, as if life has a replay button. Jack's story. Frank tells a story about his best friend Jack. Jack was always grinding, always busy, always tired. Jack used to say, "Just 5 more years of hard work, then I'll start living." 5 years. That was the plan. But Jack never reached those 5 years. He died suddenly at 42. Frank pauses. Then he says, Jack spent his whole life waiting to live. Jack treated life like a waiting room for a better future. That future never came. Frank calls this the worst gamble in human history, trading your now for a later that isn't guaranteed. The time lie. Frank explains that people act like they're immortal. They delay their dreams. They delay telling loved ones they care. They delay happiness. But one day, without warning, life ends. No announcement, no countdown, just over. He says, you don't die when you're old. You die when your time is up. That could be any time. So why wait? About stuff Frank once had everything. Big house, luxury cars, awards. Now, none of it matters. He lives simply. He tells us something powerful. When you die, about 90% of your precious stuff ends up in a dumpster. All those things you worked your whole life for? Gone. He says, stuff is garbage. Memories are treasure. About career. Frank also talks about careers. He says a job is just a transaction. You sell your hours. Someone else builds their castle. He once won Businessman of the Year. People clapped. But at home, his family felt neglected. Frank says quietly, your career will never love you back. Awards don't hug you. Money doesn't sit beside you when you're sick. People do. Frank's 3 rules for life. Then Frank gives what he calls a no BS strategy for life. 1. Kill your ego. Stop being afraid of looking stupid. Nobody is watching you like you think. People are too busy worrying about themselves. Try the thing. Speak up. Take the risk. Your fear is lying to you. 2. Practice. The last time. One day, everything will be the last time. Last walk, last laugh, last meal with family. So treat today like it matters, because it does. Frank says, never take a moment for granted again. 3. Wake up. Put down the phone. Go outside, feel the wind, move your body, call your mother, forgive old enemies, be here, be alive. He says, you're young, you're breathing, that's already a miracle.